Yo, yo, it's your boy Big Bo. Walking through Cooper Young yet again. Story time. Let's talk about some trauma. In the late 90s, early 2000s, I was a producer of a rap group. And we were pretty good. We had a good following. And I even got us a deal offered by Hypnotized Minds, by Paul and Juicy. They're a lot of people kind of dog them, but to be honest, they're the only people in the music industry that's ever offered me shit. And in retrospect, I should have taken it, but I was more concerned with artistic integrity. I should have looked at it as a paycheck for a job that I could have quit at any time. So anyways, during that process, I was recording basically everybody. If you were in the Memphis rap scene, I didn't, and you could find your way to my house, I'd put you on tape. Did dozens of people like that. So anyways, the rap scene also has a lot of riffraff, and it's very cutthroat. So that kind of led to people finding out I had a certain amount of equipment, and it was in August 2001, and I was laying in the bed, and hello, and all of a sudden I wake up to this guy in a mask with a pistol to my head, and I thought it was my friend, like playing a joke on me. And he smacked me in the head with a pistol, and I'm like, oh fuck, this isn't a joke. Just keeps smacking me with this pistol, pulls me into like the little foyer in between my little sunroom and the living room, and there's another guy with a gun on my then pregnant, now ex-wife, and he just kept smacking me with this big old pistol. I found out later it was a Desert Eagle, but I'll explain that as well. So, I'm just going, dude, just take what you want, I don't care. And so he got us in the bathroom. My girlfriend was kind of over by the toilet, and I was just down on my knees. I just had my hands up. I'm just like, just stop hitting me, It's covered in blood. And, but he kept telling me to lay down. And I don't know if it was just out of stupidity or what, but I didn't lay down. I wouldn't lay down. Something just, having a gun pressed to your head is really fucking terrifying. Especially getting the shit beat out of you with one as well. But you're also in defensive posture. You know what I mean? I wanted this guy to stop hitting me, so I kept looking up at him, trying to stop him. So he puts this big pistol to my head, and he pulls the trigger, and it clicks, and it doesn't go off. I think he had full intentions of blowing my head completely off. Straight up killer. The reason it didn't go off was because the clip fell out. When he hit me in the head in the bedroom, the clip fell out, and the cops found it later, and that's how we know it was a Desert Eagle. And I guess that gun was manufactured to California specs, and there is forgot what it's called, but it's basically a thing where that gun won't fire unless the clip is in it. If you look it up, I forgot what it's called. It's a certain feature. But if you look it up, it's basically all the gun people talking about how, how inconvenient it is if they have to protect themselves. But it saved my life. So I don't care one way or another. So anyways, I put the gun in my head, pulled the trigger, click, didn't go off. That's a really fucking terrifying experience. And I just started going. And I noticed his demeanor changed. And he kind of backed out of the door. there was one guy, I guess, with a gun to my roommate Mike's head, and I didn't realize later that there was somebody else in there trying to get my equipment. I guess they just thought that they could come in and snatch it, but it was all rack mounted and everything zip tied together. The only thing that they could grab was my Groovebox 505, which they actually left in the laundry room as they ran towards the end, but I'm getting to that. If they had a brain in their head, I had a either 73 or 74 Les Paul Custom worth about $6,000 just sitting there in a guitar stand. But they thought they could take my equipment, and I don't know what they thought they could do. That's like taking Picasso's paintbrush and thinking that you can paint the fucking Mona Lisa or Da Vinci, whatever. Because when it comes to beats, back then, couldn't nobody fuck with me. So anyways, so the guy comes back in there after the gun didn't go off, and he's got a roll of duct tape. And I'll just look up at him. He's telling me don't fucking look at him. And he had that duct tape in one hand and he had the pistol in the other. And he went to try to pull the duct tape open. And when he did that, I jumped up and I grabbed the pistol. I didn't know. I stuck my thumb through the trigger, and I didn't know that it wasn't functional. I thought the guy was just trying to scare me, but I was focused on trying to keep that away from my girlfriend, my pregnant girlfriend, and me. I didn't want to fucking die. So I start fighting the guy. And when that happens, I guess it's a fight or flight thing that kicks in. And he started punching me, and I didn't even feel it. You know, started cussing at him and elbowing him in the face and stuff. Kind of went into the bathtub a little bit. But he wouldn't let go of that gun. If I was kind of yanking him over my shoulder. He was a little bitty old guy. And had I known, I probably would have like twisted it out of his hand. Ooh, look at that. What the hell is that? Some kind of old Volkswagen? So, yeah, I probably would have done it different, but anyways. So he starts hollering for his buddy, and the door's open. So I get out of the tub, and I press my body against the door. And, because this other guy had come around the corner, and I guess he dragged Mike out of his bedroom. They didn't hurt any of the other people. It was just me. And, so I could see Mike. Mike was fucking terrified, just like us. And, so anyways, I closed that door, and he's got me kind of pushed up against the door, and he's yelling to his buddy, "Hello. Hey. How are you?"
Good evening. I know you.
Sure. I'm doing a little story online.
Nice.
All right. So, anyways, so the guy starts going, shoot through the door, kill this motherfucker. And I start going, fight, Mike, fight. I mean, hey, Mike had a fucking pistol to his head. And they hadn't harmed him. You know, I thought for damn sure they were trying to kill me. And so the guy he doesn't shoot through the door. I don't think that other guy was dead set on killing somebody, and I'll know why later. So anyways, the guy starts pushing through that door, and I'm holding him back, and he's going, kill this motherfucker, kill this motherfucker. And so the guy, hey, how are you? The guy eventually pushes the door open, and how I see it was I'm actually looking back at my girlfriend, hello, and she's holding a statue of the thinker that we had next to the toilet. And I guess she was about to smack the guy in the head, you know? Like 5'1", $115. Not much, but shit, she was down at that moment. And I saw her go, oh! And she's kind of backed off, and what it was the guy managed to stick his hand through the door with that pistol. And they managed to kind of push me down on my ass, but I would not let go of this guy's gun. And so he's gonna kill this motherfucker. And I looked up at the guy, and I could tell he was kind of fucking terrified too. And he kind of reaches around me. I'm trying to put the guy in between me and this guy. And he reaches around and he looks down and he plop, and he shoots me like my leg is folded like this, and it goes in, out, and then in. But at that time I didn't feel anything. I thought the guy shot me with a blank. And I don't know what I was doing, but at that point they ran off. And I'm just in this fight mode now, and I started chasing them out of the fucking house. And so anyways, the first thing I feel was wet. And I look down and I'm like, oh shit, I'm shot. And neighbors end up calling the cops and stuff. And while I was sitting, I went over to my neighbor's house first, and he's calling the police. And I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding on your carpet. So I got up and went back over to my place, right? My girlfriend was still in hysterics. And this feeling came over me. It was absolute bliss. It was the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt in my life. I've talked to other people that have kind of had near-death experiences and things like that, and it happens. I don't know if it's a release of endorphins. Fire truck. I don't know if it's a release of endorphins or what, but it was just me sitting there alive and breathing, and it was Nirvana. It was the best feeling I've ever felt in my life. You know, no drug compares to it. No orgasm, nothing. And this immense peace came over me, and this really calm feeling, and I was just going like, it's over, it's okay, you know. And so anyways, the cops show up, and they go, why'd you shoot yourself? And I'm like, what? Come on. Guess I pistol whipped myself too, you know. And then the next thing they say is, where's the dope at? I might have had a joint in an ashtray or something like that, but I guess that's what they see. You know, they see people that are getting robbed for dope. That's why I'm all for legalizing drugs. People are fucking killing each other over it. And you got to be a criminal to be involved in it. By proxy. Maybe not by proxy. You just are a criminal, I guess, if you use drugs in the eyes of the law. So, anyways, that took me to the hospital, and then the pain kicks in. And they didn't give me anything. And, you know, I guess I don't know. I guess they got to give you a drug test first to make sure you're not fucked up on something. But I was laying there for a good hour and a half. And one of the nurses was a guy I went to school with. We played soccer together. It might have been Joe Dishner. And I go, Joe, what's up? And he's like, holy fuck. It was his first day. It was his first day in the ER. And this guy he played soccer with in high school shows up all bloody and beaten. And yeah, they put me in that machine and stretched my leg out because it went through like the tendon right there in the top of my pelvis. And when they stretched that tendon out, it was extremely, extremely painful. But once they got me back, my mom showed up. All I wanted to do was tell my mother that I loved her. And that's the first thing I told her when she got there. And my girlfriend showed up and they gave me a shot of morphine. And it was like floating on a cloud of titties. And I was like, oh yeah, you need some more of that. So anyways, she numbed my head and started stitching my head up. And the entry wound was like burned. And so she cut away the burned area. And they gave me the option. They go, well, we can take it out, but, you know, it's probably gonna be a more recovery if we take it out. So I just chose to leave it in there. So it's in my side right here. It's right there. Where is that? Oh no, I got some bullet holes down there. I'll have to pull my pants down. So anyways, yeah, that was that as well. That was the first time I had ever taken any hard drug. The only things I had done before were marijuana, alcohol, and hallucinogens. And I was very, very much against anything like that. But man, they start giving you those fucking Percocets and stuff like that. You know, next thing you know, bam. And here we are. So, anyways, it really changed my life. And I realized later that I had PTSD. But I had been medicating it the entire time with drugs and alcohol. But when I got out of rehab and I stopped taking the medicine they gave me at night, every night I was completely gripped by this irrational fear. It was right when I would go to doze off, right when you're there at that little half lucid, half not, it would strike my body like boom, like lightning, and jerk me up, and it's just completely consumed with fear. And it could have been about anything I thought of, you know, but I kind of realized later that was what it was. You know, that's why it happens to me at night, because the guy came in there and fucking got me while I was asleep. So anyways, they didn't get anything. You know, even if I had a gun, I don't know if there was anything I could have done at that point. And I've heard of other instances where, you know, people start having a shootout defending themselves and it ends really bad. But so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the motherfucker is either in jail or dead. You know, I just kind of left that up to some other force. But I guarantee you, if the guy carried on like he did, I'm sure he's either dead or in jail. I kind of found out who it was later, and I'm not going to go into that. But any hoot, that's it. That's my crazy story. Wanted to share that. Maybe y'all can understand a little bit more about who this crazy son of a bitch on YouTube is. All right, later.